My name is Maya Bennett. I am 27. I still see the moment my sister grinned while I tumbled down the stairs at our family reunion in Chicago. Her prank left me sprawled on the hardwood. I could not move. My legs went numb. Pain burned through my spine. I screamed for help. My voice was raw. My father said, "Get up, Maya. Don't be selfish." My mother paced and hissed that I was ruining the party. She accused me of faking it to steal the spotlight. I lay there gasping, my legs lifeless. My sister laughed with her friends. They treated my pain like a show. The betrayal cut deeper than the fall. Their voices piled on. They called me dramatic, attention-seeking, a burden. I begged them to call an ambulance. They just stared. They seemed sure I was exaggerating. Fear grabbed me. Helplessness followed. Their indifference hurt more than the pain. They did not know their denial would pull them into a courtroom. The MRI showed a truth they could not ignore. My spine was shattered. Their lives would start to unravel. If your pain was ever ignored by people who should have cared, tell me your story in the comments and say where you are watching from. Like this video and subscribe to follow how my family's betrayal broke my body and how I fought to rebuild my life. I grew up in the Bennett house in suburban Chicago. From the outside we looked perfect. A 2-story house, a neat lawn, a father who rose in a logistics firm, a mother who led the PTA, and 2 daughters who never missed school. Behind that image, every step felt risky. My father, Daniel Bennett, expected toughness. Emotions were a luxury to him. "Toughen up, Maya," he said when I cried over a sprain, a bad grade, or feeling unseen. He thought weakness was a choice, and I always chose wrong. My mother, Karen Bennett, chased perfect. She curated our family image for neighbors. Her loyalty leaned toward my sister Rachel Bennett. Rachel was 4 years older. She was charming and ruthless. My parents called it brilliance. She landed a bank job, and every gathering centered on her promotions and engagement. I became the afterthought. My scholarship to community college and my steady graphic design job barely registered. Rachel learned early that she could do no wrong. At 10, she borrowed my favorite dress and returned it shredded. She said it was an accident. My mother nodded and my father said, "Stop overreacting, Maya." I swallowed my anger. At 13, Rachel spread a rumor that I cheated on a math test. I got detention, my first ever. My parents sighed and asked, "Why can't you be more like your sister?" At 16, she locked me in the attic during a barbecue. I pounded on the door, terrified of spiders. My mother said I must have provoked her. My father did not look up from his beer. Each incident chipped at me. My parents only saw Rachel's charm. She made them look good. I learned to keep my head down. Attention meant comparison, and I always lost. Rachel twisted every situation to make me the problem. Once she deleted a project I had spent weeks on, then blamed it on a mistake. My parents said, "You should have backed it up, Maya." The loss crushed me. Their dismissal cut deeper. At 18, I left. I packed a bag, enrolled in a community college in Southern Illinois, and took a job as a graphic designer at a small firm. Distance gave me air. I found friends who listened. I found a therapist who helped me untangle my childhood. I rented a small apartment and filled it with my art. I began to breathe. Therapy taught me boundaries. It taught me that my parents' favoritism was not my fault. Family ties still pulled. I could not cut them off completely. 6 months ago, my mother called, urgent and sweet. "Maya, you have to come to the family reunion. It would mean so much to Rachel." I doubted Rachel cared. The reunion was at our parents' house, with a grand staircase my father liked to show off. My mother added, "Everyone will be there." Her voice carried that familiar push of shame. I agreed, though I did not want to. "I will come, but I am staying at a hotel," I said. My mother sighed and told me to wear something nice. Even my clothes invited judgment. I had long chosen jeans and sweaters that felt like me. To them, that was defiance. I booked a hotel near their house. I packed dark slacks, a cream blouse, and low heels. I drove 3 hours to Chicago. I made plans in my head. Stay polite. Avoid Rachel. Leave early. I told myself I could handle one weekend. I did not know this reunion would end the life I knew. Rachel's cruelty, sharpened by years of getting away with it, would push me past a point of no return. My parents' refusal to see her would cost me everything. I arrived at 2 p.m., time to slip into the crowd. The street filled with cars. Many belonged to Rachel's banker friends. I waited until the party buzzed. I held a modest bottle of Merlot as a peace offering. I told myself to stay low and leave early. My mother met me at the door, her smile tight. "You made it," she said, warm only in duty. She led me through the house past the polished oak staircase. The living room held leftover gifts from Rachel's promotion. My bottle felt small on the table. About 40 people crowded the backyard. Rachel held court near the patio. She glowed with the kind of confidence that cut. She had her fiancé Ethan Cole beside her, and a group that fawned over her. When she saw me, her eyes lit with a glint I knew. "Little sis, you actually showed up?" she called, voice laced with mock surprise. She hugged me too tight. Her perfume overpowered me. "Did not think you would crawl out," she said, and her friends laughed. I forced a smile. She smirked and pointed to the staircase through the open doors. "Dad's pride and joy cost him a fortune. Check it out later," she said as if setting a trap. I excused myself for water and avoided alcohol, so I would stay sharp. For an hour I managed to dodge Rachel. Then she started. "Hey Maya, remember when you cried because I read your diary?" she shouted across the yard. Her friends laughed. "My cheeks burned," she added. "Or when you tripped at my graduation party." She lied when she said I had tripped. She had pushed me into a table and left a bruise on my shin. Emily, a cousin, looked sympathetic, but shame rose in me. I walked toward the house to get my purse. Rachel intercepted me. "Leaving already? Come on, sis. Don't be so boring," she said, breath smelling of wine. My heart pounded. I tried to pass her. She blocked my path and grazed my arm. "Stay for the toast. It's for family," she said. I pushed past her and went upstairs to the guest room to grab my purse. To get to the living room, I had to climb the grand staircase. On the first step, the wood felt wrong. It was slick, unnaturally smooth under my heel. I looked down and saw a faint sheen like oil. My stomach dropped. It was too late. My foot slid. I lost balance, grabbed the railing. Then my other foot slipped. I fell, tumbling down the stairs. Each impact jarred my body. My head slammed against a step. My lower back hit another. Then I crashed onto the hardwood floor. The air shot out of my lungs. Pain burst through my skull, hot and blinding, racing down my spine. I tried to move. Nothing. From the waist down, I felt only numbness. "Help, please. I can't move," I gasped. Rachel appeared at the top of the stairs, laughter echoing. "Nice dive, Maya. Very dramatic." Her friends chuckled behind her. I tried to sit up, but my body failed me. My legs were gone, no sensation, no movement. "I'm serious," I cried, tears burning. "I can't feel my legs." Rachel rolled her eyes. "Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself." My father came in from the patio, irritation on his face. "What's going on, Maya? Why are you on the floor?" "Dad, I fell," I said, my voice breaking. I hit my back and head. "I can't move my legs. I need an ambulance." He scoffed. "The stairs are brand new. Perfectly safe. Get up and stop making a scene." My mother appeared beside him, twisting her necklace. "Maya, that's enough. You're spoiling the reunion." I couldn't believe it. They stood over me, accusing me of faking, while I lay helpless. "Please," I begged, panic rising. "Call an ambulance." Rachel laughed louder. "She's just jealous of my engagement announcement." Her friends nodded like it explained everything. My mother leaned closer, her whisper harsh. "Maya Bennett, you've always been selfish, but this is too much. Get up." Pain flooded my back in waves. My vision blurred. Nausea rose in my throat. My hands shook as I tried to drag myself toward the wall. "I can't," I whispered, sobbing. "I'm not lying." They did nothing. My father shook his head. My mother fiddled with her jewelry. Rachel smirked, proud of her win. Guests stared, some whispering, others looking away. Ethan, Rachel's fiancé, shrugged. "She's always been dramatic," he said. The group laughed. I was alone, trapped in my broken body. Their voices rang in my ears. Selfish, dramatic, attention-seeking. My head throbbed. The numbness in my legs consumed me. Time dragged. Seconds felt like hours. Hope slipped away. My family's refusal to believe me crushed me worse than the fall. Then a voice cut through the haze. Move aside. I'm a doctor. The crowd parted. Dr. Sofia Ramirez, a family friend and ER physician, knelt beside me. She checked my pulse, her face turning grave. Maya, I'm Sofia. Tell me what happened. I explained the fall, the impact, the numbness. She tested my legs. Nothing. No movement, no sensation, she muttered. Then she looked up. This looks like a spinal cord injury. We need an ambulance now. Don't move her. My mother stepped forward, annoyed. Sophia, she's fine. Just overreacting. Sophia's tone hardened. Karen, if we move her wrong, it could cause permanent damage. I'm calling 911. She described my condition to dispatch. Possible spinal fracture, head trauma, unstable vitals. Rachel's face went pale. My father grumbled. Ridiculous. The stairs aren't slippery. I had them refinished last month. Sophia touched the steps. Her fingers came away greasy. This isn't polish. It's oil. Eyes turned to Rachel. She crossed her arms, voice shaky. It was a joke. I put some furniture oil on the stairs. I thought she'd slip a little. Not this. Gasps spread through the guests. My father's face hardened, not at her, but at the disruption. Rachel, why would you do something so stupid? Then he added, she didn't mean harm. Just a prank. My mother nodded quickly. Sibling fun. Maya's always clumsy. I lay there, pain tearing through me, hearing them defend her even now. Sophia ignored them. Hang in there, Maya. Help is coming. Sirens wailed. Paramedics rushed in, led by Alex Turner. Sophia briefed them. 27-year-old female. Fell down about 10 stairs. Suspected spinal injury. No sensation below waist. Head trauma. Vitals unstable. Alex knelt beside me. Maya, we're here to help. Don't move. They fitted a neck collar, rolled me carefully onto a backboard, and strapped me down. Even with care, pain shot through my spine. I groaned. I know it hurts, Alex said. We'll get you pain meds soon. They hooked up monitors and in 4. Blood pressure low. Heart rate high. She's in shock. We need her at the trauma center fast, Alex told his team. As they prepared to leave, Alex asked about the fall. Sophia pointed to the oily residue. Her sister admitted putting oil on the stairs. Alex's eyes narrowed. Deliberate hazard. We'll need to report this. Rachel stammered. It was harmless. I didn't think she'd get hurt. My father snapped. No police. This is family business. But Alex was already on the radio. Possible reckless endangerment. Delayed medical response despite paralysis. My mother's face cracked with worry. Is she really that bad? Maybe we can drive her to urgent care. Sophia cut her off. Absolutely not. She needs proper transport and imaging. Any delay can worsen the damage. The police arrived as the stretcher lifted. Detective Karen Ellis and Officer Mike Gonzalez questioned witnesses. Detective Ellis asked Rachel directly, You admit you put oil on the stairs? Rachel nodded, shaken. Yes, but it was just a joke. Ellis noted it, then turned to my parents. And you didn't call for help even after she said she couldn't move? My father sputtered that we thought I was exaggerating. My mother said, She is always dramatic. Detective Ellis' face hardened. That response can be negligence. They would collect evidence. They would take the oil sample and witness statements. Officer Gonzalez photographed the stairs and swabbed the residue. Guests drifted away. Some left quietly. Others whispered. Rachel stood frozen. Ethan tried to comfort her. She pushed him away. She muttered, This is your fault, at me. Sophia cut her off. Not now. Paramedics wheeled me to the ambulance. I caught one last look at my family. My father argued with Detective Ellis. My mother wrapped her arms around herself. Rachel looked stunned. In the ambulance, Alex gave me pain medicine through the 4. The drugs dulled the pain but not the fear. The numbness in my legs kept reminding me what Rachel's prank had done. We raced to the hospital. At the ER, nurses rushed me. They ordered an MRI and CT. The scans returned quickly. Fractured vertebrae at L1. Compressed spinal cord. An incomplete injury. Dr. Martinez, the neurosurgeon, said we needed emergency surgery to relieve pressure and stabilize the spine. Words like paraplegia and uncertain recovery followed. All because of a prank. All because my family dismissed me. Police took my statement while I waited for surgery. Their investigation had just begun. I woke groggy in recovery. Monitors beeped. Nurse Carlos Lopez checked my vitals. He said surgery went as planned. Dr. Martinez showed me images. They removed bone fragments and put rods in at L1. The injury was incomplete, so there was a chance for recovery. She warned it was too early to know how much. I tried to move my toes. Nothing. The numbness stayed. My throat hurt from the breathing tube. Pain remained in my lower back even with meds. Dr. Martinez was blunt. You are looking at paraplegia now. Paralysis of the lower limbs. Physical therapy will matter. Prepare for long-term mobility challenges. Every minute matters in spinal injuries. Immediate immobilization can reduce damage. The delay in calling for help likely made things worse. The truth about my parents' refusal hit hard. Detective Ellis and Officer Gonzalez met me later. They asked me to walk them through the day. I told them about the oil, Rachel's admission, and my parents telling me to get up. Witnesses, including Dr. Ramirez, confirmed the delay. The oil sample tested positive for furniture polish applied on purpose. Rachel faced charges for reckless endangerment causing serious injury, a felony. My parents were under investigation for negligence. It felt like validation. It did not fix the damage. Detective Ellis said I had grounds for a civil suit. Medical costs for a spinal injury can reach millions. She gave me a lawyer's card. David Kessler came the next day. He was calm and direct. Your case is strong, he said. Rachel's admission and the evidence make liability clear. He explained the path. The parents' homeowner insurance might pay part. For full compensation, we would likely pursue personal assets. Suing my family felt like cutting the last tie. David said this is about securing your future, not revenge. Medical bills, home modifications, lost income. I signed the paperwork. I felt heavy but determined. I stayed in the hospital 10 days. Tests, pain control, early rehab. Lisa Bennett, a therapist, began bedside rehab. She taught me transfers and how to use a wheelchair. Each move exhausted me. My body was weak. My mind struggled. Work friends visited. Sarah Mitchell brought soup. My boss Greg Allen said my job was secure. Their support helped. My family was absent. Not one call. Not one visit. I did not know if lawyers kept them away or if they avoided accountability. By week 3, police had formally charged Rachel. My parents faced misdemeanor negligence charges. The evidence was strong. Dr. Ramirez's testimony, the paramedic reports, the oil sample. I felt hollow. No triumph. Just a deep ache. David filed a civil suit against Rachel for intentional harm and against my parents for negligence. He sought $2 million to cover medical care and future needs. Their insurance paid the $500,000 cap. He moved to claim retirement funds and the house for the rest. I transferred to a rehab center, Chicago Spine Recovery. The facility had wide halls and specialists. My therapist Mark Thompson pushed me through hard exercises. He said we would maximize whatever function I had. I learned to will myself and use adaptive tools to dress. Small independence returned. Some days I felt tingles in my thighs. Mark called that promising. Other days pain and fatigue crushed me. Diane Foster, a social worker, planned long-term needs. My apartment needed ramps, wider doors, and a modified bathroom. The costs mounted. The lawsuit became survival, not punishment. Diane connected me with a disability advocate group. I met Rachel Carter there. She had rebuilt her life after a fall. She told me the emotional hit can be worse than the physical. Her words helped. 3 weeks after the fall, David deposed my family. Rachel, out on bail, admitted the prank under oath. My parents still said I had exaggerated. Their cold statements were read to me. David said they were doubling down, and that would hurt them in court. I felt exhausted more than satisfied. By week 6 I had small gains. Hip strength improved a little. A tingle appeared in my calves sometimes. Mark stayed optimistic but careful. Incomplete injuries take time. It is a marathon. David secured the $500,000 insurance payout. He pursued my parents' assets for the rest. They resisted, but the evidence was strong. I no longer cared about their loss. I cared about my future. I had to focus on myself and on surviving the new life forced on me. 3 months after surgery, the settlement money arrived. A $1,500,000 wire transfer changed my reality. I used it to adapt my apartment in southern Illinois with ramps, lowered counters, and a roll-in shower. Contractors worked 2 weeks while I stayed in rehab. It wasn't the life I had before, but it was a start. Anna Lewis, a part-time aide in her 40s, joined me when I moved back. She had experience with spinal injuries and helped with lifting and reaching. She kept things practical and never made me feel helpless. At work, Greg adjusted my role. I handled remote design projects from my adapted desk using voice software. He said my talent hadn't changed. Clients praised my designs. Some even said they had improved. Sarah, my colleague, visited often, bringing files and staying for dinner. The disability support group became my anchor. We met weekly in Chicago. Rachel Carter, 30, with a spinal injury from a car accident, became my mentor. She reminded me to grieve the old version of myself, but not let it define me. We swapped tips about wheelchair cushions, transport, and daily hacks. I began mentoring others just starting their recovery. I shared how I cooked from a seated position and drove with hand controls. No apology came from my family. David said they once tried through him, but I refused. I blocked their numbers and cut every tie. News reached me later. Rachel served 18 months and was released early. My parents got probation and community service. Their house was sold to cover the settlement. They moved into a condo. I didn't care. Their choices had cost me my mobility. My silence became their consequence. Life moved forward. Anna helped in the mornings. I worked from home, met my psychologist, Claire Jenkins, and attended group sessions. Claire told me my family's neglect was abuse, and cutting them off was protection. Evenings I spent with Sarah or group friends. We built a chosen family. Physically, I made slow gains. Mark, my therapist, pushed me through rehab. I regained some thigh sensation and hip strength. I could stand with braces for short periods and take assisted steps. Wheelchair use stayed primary. Complications came, but settlement money covered treatment. Work thrived. Clients valued my resilience. Cutting off my family freed me from guilt and comparisons. They told others it was an accident and painted me as unforgiving. It didn't matter. Their narrative no longer defined mine. I focused on moving forward, taking design courses, joining adaptive yoga, and planning trips with the group. 2 years have passed since that reunion. I am not the same woman who entered my parents' house desperate for their approval. I know now that worth does not depend on people who refuse to see you. Their betrayal gave me something unexpected, the freedom to define myself. The scars remain. Most days I use a wheelchair. With braces I can take slow steps. Some sensation has returned. There are good days with laughter and bad days with pain. But I learned my value lies in resilience and choice, not in my family's judgment. I also learned family is not about blood. It's about who shows up, who believes you, who stands by you. Sarah, Rachel, Greg, Anna, and Claire became my family. They showed love without conditions. Nicole, my father, and my mother are gone from my life. I don't know where they live. I don't want to. They tell people they were victims. That's their version, not mine. My pain and truth no longer need their validation. If you're trapped in a family that dismisses you, hear this. You deserve better. Your pain matters even if they deny it. Trust yourself. Find friends, therapists, or groups that believe you. Walk away if you must. It may be the only way to save yourself. I did, and I am still here. Stronger because of my scars. I share this to show what is possible after betrayal. You can rebuild. You can reclaim your life. If your pain was ignored, share your story. Let others know they're not alone.